Do you know about Mr. Trump and how he changed his life and thoughts through success? Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York City, to Frederick Christ Trump and Mary Ann McLeod Trump. Growing up in a family of privilege, Donald was the fourth of 5 children. His father, a real estate developer, had built a fortune constructing and managing rental housing in the New York City boroughs. From an early age, Donald displayed a competitive streak and a flair for the dramatic. His parents sent him to the New York Military Academy at the age of 13 in hopes of channeling his energy and discipline. He thrived there, eventually graduating in 1964 before attending Fordham University for 2 years and later transferring to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. He graduated in 1968 with a degree in economics. Upon completing his studies, Trump joined his father's real estate company, Elizabeth Trump & Son, which primarily focused on middle-class rental housing in Brooklyn and Queens. Ambitious and eager to leave a mark, he persuaded his father to expand into Manhattan, where he saw greater potential for profit and prestige. In the 1970s, he rebranded the company as the Trump Organization and began developing high-profile projects. One of his early successes was the transformation of the dilapidated Commodore Hotel into the Grand Hyatt New York, a project that relied heavily on tax abatements and financing. He also established himself as a real estate magnate by building Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue, completed in 1983, which became both a luxury residential and commercial property and a symbol of his larger-than-life persona. As his empire grew, so did his public profile. Trump's ventures expanded beyond real estate into areas like casinos, airlines, and professional sports. He purchased the Miss Universe, Miss USA, and Miss Teen USA pageants, further cementing his image as a media-savvy businessman. However, his career was not without controversy or failure. The late 1980s and early 1990s saw Trump facing significant financial difficulties as the real estate market slumped, and many of his ventures, including the Trump Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City, declared bankruptcy. Despite these setbacks, Trump managed to rebound, in part by licensing his name for various products and real estate ventures rather than directly financing projects. Trump's flair for publicity kept him in the public eye throughout the 1990s and early 2000s. In 2004, he became the star and executive producer of the reality television show The Apprentice, which further elevated his profile and portrayed him as a shrewd and commanding business leader. The show's success spawned catchphrases like "You're fired," and reinforced his brand as a tough negotiator. During this period, Trump also published several books, including The Art of the Deal, which combined anecdotes from his business career with advice on negotiation and success. In 2015, Trump announced his candidacy for President of the United States as a Republican, riding a wave of populism and promising to make America great again. His campaign was marked by controversial statements, unconventional tactics, and a strong focus on immigration, trade, and national security. Despite facing skepticism from political pundits and the Republican establishment, Trump won the party's nomination and ultimately defeated Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton in the 2016 presidential election. His victory shocked many and underscored deep divisions within the American electorate. As president, Trump's tenure was marked by a mix of bold actions and polarizing rhetoric. He pursued an America First agenda, emphasizing deregulation, tax cuts, and renegotiation of trade agreements. His administration implemented significant changes in areas like immigration policy, including a controversial travel ban targeting several predominantly Muslim countries and the construction of a border wall with Mexico. On the international stage, Trump's approach was unconventional. He engaged in high-stakes diplomacy with adversaries like North Korea while straining alliances with traditional partners. His presidency also saw two impeachments, first over allegations of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress related to Ukraine, and later over his role in the January 6, 2021, Capitol riot. He was acquitted in the Senate both times. Trump's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic was a defining aspect of his presidency. Critics accused him of downplaying the severity of the virus and spreading misinformation, while supporters highlighted his administration's efforts to expedite vaccine development through Operation Warp Speed. The pandemic, coupled with widespread protests over racial injustice and a contentious 2020 election, defined the latter part of his term. In November 2020, Trump lost his bid for re-election to Democratic challenger Joe Biden, but refused to concede, making unsubstantiated claims of widespread voter fraud. This culminated in the Capitol riot, after which Trump's influence within the Republican Party remained strong, even as he faced legal challenges and investigations. Throughout his life, Trump has been a polarizing figure. Admirers view him as a savvy businessman, and a champion of conservative values, while critics see him as divisive and self-serving. His personal life has also been a subject of scrutiny. Trump has been married 3 times, to Ivana Trump, Marla Maples, and Melania Trump, and has 5 children, Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric, Tiffany, and Barron. Each of his children has played a role in his business and political endeavors. After leaving office, Trump continued to exert significant influence in American politics. He remained a dominant figure within the Republican Party, endorsing candidates and hinting at a potential run in the 2024 presidential election. His Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida became a hub for allies and supporters. Despite facing legal investigations, Trump's brand and political clout endured, cementing his status as one of the most consequential and controversial figures in modern American history. His life's trajectory, from a wealthy New York real estate scion to a global celebrity and finally the 45th President of the United States, reflects his unparalleled ability to command attention, adapt to changing circumstances, and leave an indelible mark on the cultural and political landscape.